Guys, very big breaking news for Tesla, I'm telling you, because if one of the best, but also one of the most secretive fund is increasing its position over the last couple of days and weeks to 486%, there is something going on. And maybe you are right now on board with Elon Musk's Tesla stock. But what does it mean if the best fund is investing into Tesla, and what doesn't show us for us in the Tesla future? Let's have a look into the very secretive trading of the Renaissance fund. So first of all, make sure to smash that subscribe button because I'm vlogging every single day, and later on in the day I'm making even live stream on an everyday basis because we have a couple of time now due to the quarantine everywhere in the world, and I thought we will increase this content. Moreover, make sure to smash the thumb up button because this is apparently helping the YouTube algorithm. But on my research currently on the biggest investors into Tesla, I stumbled over something, right? And I believe that this is something to follow every now and then. You see how the positions are getting increased. This data is not that actual. It's a little bit, let's say, delayed because funds actually need to release those PRs sometime, and it's all sometimes on quarterly basis, and depending on the regulations, you can look up this information. Now, if you looking into the top 10 owners of Tesla stock, you can see that there is Belly Gifford, for example, Capital Research and Management, the Vanguard Group, Fidelity, BlackRock, and a fund called Jennison Associates. Now, if you're looking into those numbers, you see that most of them are increasing by a small one-digit number, and even some are selling. And first of all, I'm very upset that not my name is there to show that I'm one of the biggest Tesla owners. But some things you cannot change in life, therefore let's concentrate on one position, the Renaissance Technologies LLC. They have a 2.14 stake in Tesla, which represent about 3,938,142 shares, which is approximately 2.063,586,408 billion dollars. Now, my portfolio is a little bit shy of that number, but those increasing is heavily. Now, if you see, they increased by 3.2 million shares. So all the position, they bought so much shares that the increasing is by 486%. And this is crazy because maybe some of you don't know the Renaissance Fund. The Renaissance Fund is something that needs some explanation. So let's dive into that first. So Jim Simons was actually a mathematician, a very good mathematician, and at one point he got to be friendly with Wall Street, let's say it this way. Since then, his net worth grew to $21 billion, and he's the founder of Renaissance Fund. And actually, if you're looking into his history, he is known as a quantitative investor, and in 1982 he funded the whole circus, okay? And he is now a hedge fund manager and private investor. And what is crazy about this guy, that his fund from 1988 over this whole 3 decades made about 60% gain year over year over year. Now you think this sounds a bit fishy. This sounds a bit Bernie Madoff fishy. But no, this fund is based on very, very core mathematics, and this core mathematics is very, very kept secret. Nobody knows what is really behind it that is so good working in it. And they use, you know, quantum calculating there, and also they are using really sophisticated persons that are really good in math. Okay, so those are the guys that you maybe laughed out in the second grade, but those are billionaires now because they figured out the numbers game. And if you're thinking about it, you could imagine that a machine could actually pretend to know what Tesla stock will do in the future, right? Just given all the data that is currently available from the history of the stock market, and I think a computer now can really make a good educated guess where the stock goes next. And I think what is my belief will be now explained in the next category. So now you know who is this guy who founded one of the most successful hedge funds that are math based on the stock market. Now this is something for your checklist, but let's dive into what I personally think happened. Now we don't know how old this data really is. Obviously maybe it's a couple of weeks old, and we know that Tesla just hit a very, very low or recent low at $350. Now think about it, and this maybe you don't need a math degree, but if a stock goes from 960, right, or 968, which the Tesla stock was just before this crisis, and it goes down to about 350, do you think a mechanism without any emotion could maybe think one of the most volatile stocks will eventually get back, right? I mean, this is not magic, this is just logical thinking, and this is something very, very hard because emotions are getting to us humans, and especially emotions where we lose money getting to us very, very hard, and therefore we think that we cannot make these decisions by our own, and computers can make this because they only have emotions, right? Even if you like your PC very much, he don't have any feelings for you or for the stock market, and therefore this is such a very, very good advancement to have algorithmic trading. However, we also know that this is not everything. I think a great balance of it, obviously if you have such a resource that you can use and ask where stocks will be in a couple of months or years, then this is beautiful. And we have seen if very, very volatile markets are there, we know that banks and the trading agencies and trading floors having really, really good months because they are just going in, they're going out when it's higher, and this is the game of the stock market. We always see up and downs, we always see stocks that are very, very big winners, and then they lose, then they come back, then they lose, then they come back, and so on and so forth. Especially a stock that is so beloved by its investors like the Tesla stock, I believe that something like this can be foreseen. And I believe that people were out there that saw this opportunity and went inside 350, same like I did, for example, in the summer of 2019. If you're following this channel so far, I saw the stock at 178 and followed the stock into the almost $1,000. You know, I'm still very convinced that those are companies like Tesla, like Amazon, that will bring our whole future forward, and therefore I'm still convinced about these investments, and those investments will have a big part of my portfolio in the future. However, you know, I want to make you part of it, and therefore make sure to smash that like button, join our community, maybe go and check out my memberships, and also think about that we can make real money together here on this channel and this community. The Wolf community is here on daily basis. We don't leave any breaking news out there, even such news where we really have to dive into data to figure this out. You know, this is my job, free of charge for you. This content is obviously free of charge totally every single day. I'm putting a lot of time into research. I'm doing this full time, and therefore, you know, I love that you decided to subscribe and ring the bell for every single video in the future. Now, if you are interested into more, make sure to check out my other videos, obviously, and think about that, you know, be more like a computer. Don't put your emotion, or let your emotion in front of the door if you're going in your trading room, right? And think about also, don't trade too much. Go into this long-term thinking. This will help you benefit so much on the stock market that you won't believe me, and you will thank me later if you will see those money going further and further. You know, this one of the biggest crises going on right now, but also this we as humanity obviously will overcome, and then you will be much more net worth in the other day when this all will be over. So join now, or how Elon Musk would say, if something is interesting and important to you, then you do it for every single price out there, even when the odds are against you.